Welcome to the channel Ephraim. At the end of this video, if the spirit that lives within you bears witness to the spirit that lives within me, then please share the video. Click the like button, click the notification button, but the most important thing you can do is share the video so that you can help us reach the world for Christ. Our topic today is Isaiah chapter 13 verse 4. It's an interesting verse. I look forward to discussing it with you. Look at this verse. If you really want to understand what Isaiah is talking about in this verse, then we have to understand Isaiah's time period. During Isaiah's time period, when an army was going to war, you could hear them as they got closer because the echo would bounce off the mountains. That's what Isaiah is describing. So how does that relate to today? Well, we need to do a recap starting with verse 1 so you can get caught up to verse 4 so that you will better understand. So let's do a recap. So let's cover this recap real quick. Remember verse 1 where Isaiah was talking about a burden? It's a burden to talk to the people in this country because they've been incorrectly taught by pastors today. They don't understand the identity of symbolic Babylon, mystery Babylon, which is... So what are we supposed to do? Raise a banner and tell them. Tell them the truth anyway. Tell them what's going to happen before it happens, which is what we're doing on the channel Ephraim, because the internet is global. Anyone can subscribe and see these videos. And what is God's sign? What happens in the middle of verse 2 to where it becomes a burden and now all of a sudden they want to enter the gates of the nobles? Well, God's sign is fulfilled. Subscribe to the channel so you can watch the video to get caught up if you don't understand what we're talking about. God's sign is fulfilled and now people can identify mystery Babylon. So now they want to talk to people that can get things done. Because verse 3, they see God collecting his armies, consecrating his warriors to carry out his plan, to execute his anger. Because he's about to pour out his wrath for his victory. Which brings us to verse 4. Remember what we said earlier in Isaiah's time period. During his time period, when large armies gathered to go to war, you could hear them as they marched closer to the city. The sound they gave off would echo off the mountains. How does that relate to today? Well, we have technology. We have satellites. Let's use a current event, something that happened very recently. Our satellites picked up a large amount of troops building up around the Ukrainian border. We sent this information to news stations all over the world so that they could broadcast it to the people in their country. What is Russia doing? Why are they building up all these troops around the Ukrainian border? That is how it relates to today. That is what Isaiah is describing. After America destroys Egypt, you're going to be able to identify mystery Babylon. Mystery Babylon, it'll be easy to see that mystery Babylon is America. It will also be easy to see Ezekiel 38 is about to be fulfilled. Because that's actually what Isaiah 13:4 is describing. That's what a lot of these prophets are discussing. A lot of these prophets discuss these events that are going to lead up to Christ's return. You're going to have to subscribe to the channel to see those videos. I'm not going to share some of these videos publicly. Isaiah 13:4 is actually the same as Ezekiel 38, chapter 38. Isaiah is just focusing on symbolic Babylon, which is Ezekiel is focusing on countries that are coming against Israel. And how will we know what's going on? We'll be able to see it with our satellite images, our technology. We'll be able to see the Lord of hosts mobilizing his armies, the enemies. God is going to use the enemies of symbolic Babylon and Israel to carry out his plan. So the whole world will know that Jehovah God is the one true God. There's a lot more to come on the channel Ephraim. That's my time for today. So look, I've enjoyed it. I look forward to going over verse 5 and the rest of this chapter with you. Subscribe to the channel. Please Go to the website above. Download the free booklet. That's God's sign. Once Egypt is removed, there will no longer be that much time. But as long as Egypt is here, y'all, we have time to raise a banner, to tell the world. To tell the world the truth. And y'all, this is one of the ways God is going to witness to the world. Because we're going to tell them what's going to happen before it happens. So that when it happens, they will believe. Y'all, I've enjoyed it. Y'all know the drill. Peace out. I'm chilling.